this party started. Thank you for being here. Good afternoon, everybody. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule on Valentine's Day, no less, to celebrate this remarkable occasion with us. My name is Sebastian. I'm the President and CEO of Compass Health, and I want to warmly welcome you here. So today we're celebrating breaking ground on this first of its kind event for Compass Health. Right here, our organization will be inaugurating the most comprehensive building project in our organization's history. For nearly 120 years, Compass has been at the forefront of behavioral health care, both here in our region and nationally. We constantly pursue the most effective ways to treat children and adults who are facing behavioral health challenges. And as a leader in the field, we strive for high-quality, evidence-based care and to respond to our community's needs as they arise. And to do this, we know we need to always look at and address two major challenges. That is assessing what our community's current needs are and how can we respond to that. And in this case, how can we revitalize this property in a real transformational way? The Broadway campus redevelopment project aims to address these issues. This $120 million three-phase project will double our current permanent support housing capacity and provide professional behavioral health care and physical health services to our most vulnerable community members. I'm very pleased to announce that with securing the $26 million, we're here today to launch and break ground on the first phase, which is the permanent support housing complex. Thank you. So over the course of the next 30 minutes, you're going to learn a lot more about our project and what our plans are for the future. But before I provide you with some of that detail, we have some very, very special guests here to speak with you, and I want to introduce a good friend and our wonderful mayor of the city of Everett, Cassie Franklin.
Good morning, good afternoon. It's still morning, right? Okay. Good morning. I am honored to be here to celebrate the groundbreaking of this latest project for Compass Health. As Tom shared, Compass Health has been a valued member of our community for a century or more, and an important partner providing critically needed health services, support, and housing. Today marks an inspirational moment for Compass Health. The state-of-the-art campus planned here is going to provide cutting-edge behavioral health services in partnership with medical providers, law enforcement, and other community stakeholders. Like cities across our country, we in Everett are seeing a growing number of people without stable housing. Many face addiction or untreated or undiagnosed behavioral health issues. Organizations like Compass Health are on the front lines of addressing these challenges, working day in and day out to help members of our community who are struggling. And the addition of 82 units of permanent supportive housing will provide opportunity for even more of our fellow neighbors and residents to receive the full continuum of care they desperately need. This is one of our city's top priorities in providing a safe community, is housing individuals. In Everett, we focus on a balanced approach of outreach and enforcement, housing and diversion, and working in collaboration with our fantastic nonprofit partners, many of you who are here today, to provide programs to address these issues of homelessness, mental illness, crime, and addiction with best practices and compassion. I first got to know this organization while working at Cocoon House. Compass's partnership with Cocoon House ensures that youth who have experienced incredible trauma, whether on the streets or in their home, have the support and counseling they need to recover, heal, and thrive. And Compass Health also works with adults. This one very important group that this project is going to serve is our veterans. Phase 1 has committed to providing 8 Veteran Affairs support housing vouchers to recipients and to give them a place to live. The voucher program is administered by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and has helped hundreds of thousands of vets nationwide find stable housing. So I'm very grateful that Compass Health will provide this service right here in Everett. This is something truly special. This facility will represent what our community does best. We lift each other up, we help each other out, we treat each other with compassion and with respect. So I really want to thank Tom, Sebastian for your leadership, for the staff of Compass Health, for your dedication and compassion and all of the work that you do and will continue to do for those most in need in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Franklin. I could not be more pleased to introduce who I think of as our wonderful surprise guest. Low-income tax credits are the only reason we're able to move forward on phase one. New market tax credits will be one of the only reasons we can move forward with what we really want to do in terms of transformation. And so Senator Maria Cantwell has been so instrumental in securing $3 billion in increased tax funds through the low-income housing tax credit program from 2018, and working to pass bipartisan legislation for a 50% increase in low-income housing tax credits with this Congress to further expand affordable housing opportunities. This project would not happen without those tax credits. Senator Cantwell, thank you so much for being here.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. What a great day in Everett, Washington, and Snohomish County, because we are doing something about the need for affordable housing. It's great to be here with the governor and my colleague, Congressman Larson, and the mayor. Cassie, thank you for your comments. And Tom, thank you for your leadership in making this project a reality. There's so many other people I'd like to just thank and say hi to, but two people I want to make sure that we recognize: Steve Walker from the State Housing Finance Commission, and one of his commissioners, longtime Snohomish County resident, Karen Miller. Thank you both. The affordable housing crisis is a crisis all across the United States, and it's certainly here in Snohomish County. That means that people are literally paying more than 50% of their income for rent. That means that there are 234,000 households that are in need of more affordable housing. So here in Snohomish County, that means you can't just save for a rainy day and get housing. It means that we have to do something about supply. And I just so applaud everybody for being here and doing something about supply, because so much of the conversation is stymied on a national basis. People thinking that there's some other solution. I guarantee you we could fill the stage with reports by organizations who will tell you that supply has not kept pace with demand. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We have an aging baby boomer population that is reaching retirement and hasn't saved enough. We have returning veterans. We have workplace issues. We have an opioid epidemic. We have many reasons why there is an increase in demand, but we haven't kept pace with supply. The Affordable Housing Tax Credit is a great program because 95% of the affordable housing that gets built in the United States of America gets built with the tax credit. And that is why for more than a decade I have tried to lend my voice to increasing the amount of capital that the federal government puts into this program so we can have better solutions. And in 2018, we got the first bump in more than a decade. So yes, those dollars will help. The low-income housing tax credit financing structure will help with phase one of this project. As Steve just said, the project will have on-site mental health treatment, which is a key. One of the great things about the affordable housing tax credit is you can design a project that works for you. And in this particular case, we're combining the need for affordable housing with the necessity of mental health, and that is just so critical for so many different reasons. So this really will be a model for the nation and certainly a model in our state, and we're so proud that the total project cost of $26.4 million will be helped by the affordable housing tax credit. So I just want to add my congratulations to Compass Health on phase one of this project and getting it done. and to say that we want to continue to work with everyone here in Snohomish County on more affordable housing. The bill that Steve mentioned, that Senator Young of Indiana and I are working on, is trying to get 550,000 units built across the United States of America. That is what we're trying to do with our 50% increase. And that legislation also allows for veterans-only projects, formerly homeless student and foster children qualification, better help with domestic violence victims, additional credit for tribal communities, and an income averaging that allows us to do a little bit of diversity there. So we so appreciate Snohomish County, Compass Health, everybody here stepping up to this problem. We can provide great solutions for our community if we all work together. So thank you all very, very much.
Thank you so much, Senator Cantwell. Next, I'd like to introduce our great Congressman, Rick Larson, who has been such a supporter for so many voices in this community. I don't know how many roundtables I've been at with you, lots of them. He really listens and he really cares, and when we talk about the important role of federal resources in making these transformational projects happen that are changing lives, Rick Larson is front and center in advocating on our behalf, and we know that. So, Rick, welcome.
That's a challenge to Inslee to do the same thing. So, Tom, thanks for the introduction. I appreciate it. I'm not crying. I made salsa this morning and didn't wash my hands well enough. Rubbed my eyes, and I have habanero peppers on my eyes right now. So, but if I had emotions and feelings, I would be crying right now because this is a great milestone for Everett, for Compass Health, for Snohomish County. I'm really pleased to be here. Pleased to be here with Jay and First Lady of Washington State, Trudy Inslee, as well. I was with Maria last night on the airplane. We got a little delayed, but both made it here today. Good to see Maria and Cassie Franklin, Mayor Franklin, has been great supporter of everything Compass is doing and a great advocate for our city. And I also want to have a shout out to Karen Miller for a long-time advocacy, not just on the County Council, of which I'm a alum of as well, but of housing. And Mayor Stephenson and Bob Drool are here as well. My mom, my family, the academy. Sorry. I do want to reiterate something Maria said. Everywhere I go in my district, and I have all or parts of 5 counties here in the northwest corner of the state, affordable housing is the one issue they all have in common. There are different causes for it. The supply and demand is the #1 cause, but San Juan County's concerns and issues are different than Island County's. Whatcom is different than Skagit, different from Snohomish, but they do all have that same concern. And so when we have an opportunity to celebrate a project like this, it does provide a model for so many others to look at to try to solve problems. And we have serious issues here. This is last year 150 supportive housing units opened in Everett. However, in Snohomish County, there are more than 1,100 homeless individuals in 2019. So, we're only just started trying to resolve this homeless issue and homelessness. As Washington State's oldest and largest and most effective community-based behavioral health organization as well, Compass Health is helping to fill that need. You all have the vision, the expertise to address these community challenges, and we can help. We can help enable your solutions, and we want to continue to do that. Maria mentioned the legislation in the Senate. The big sponsor in the U.S. House is Susan Delbene, Representative Delbene. She's leading in the House on legislation. I'm a co-sponsor of that House legislation. Senator Campbell mentioned the big national number. It means about 9,700 new affordable units over 10 years in Washington State. We need to do our job in the House as well, the House of Representatives. In addition to that, we need to increase funding for the HUD VASH program. This is housing for veterans who apply for veterans. There's about 400 veterans experiencing homelessness in my district alone last year, and so there's plenty of work to do to attack homelessness. So a little more than a year from now, 81 individuals will step foot into new permanent homes and have access to critical resources all in one location, and that's great news. So I look forward to working with all of you here today, and I want to thank Tom and the team at Compass for inviting me to be part of this. Thanks a lot.
So it takes many, many partnerships, and not the least of which the state of Washington has been in this with us from the beginning. Governor Inslee was at a roundtable right here on site just a year ago, and we talked about the vision that we had and our opportunity to partner with the state in making this transformational project happen has been tremendous. We have a governor that listens, a governor that wants to help, a governor that seeks solutions, and again, there is no way we would be here today breaking ground on this exciting project without the support of Governor Inslee. And welcome to his wife Trudy. So glad you could be here as well. So I'd like to introduce the great governor of the state of Washington, Jay Inslee.
Tom, can you stay up here? Tom? Would you stay up here just for a second? By the way, I don't know if I was so impressed to see Rick Larson hop up on this. But he didn't do it with a brand new artificial hip, okay? So one of these days, you'll get yours. We know that all regular compasses point to north, and all community-based behavioral health systems in the state of Washington point to Tom Sebastian. And every day when I meet somebody that's just inspired the heck out of me, I have a gubernatorial privilege of recognizing them as the Washingtonian of the day. And when I do that, I take off this pin. This is a Washington State Apple pin. It's the governor's only pin. Today, Tom Sebastian is the Washington State Washingtonian of the day. This is a tremendous project for a lot of reasons. One is I just want to second Senator Cantwell's emphasis on supply and housing. And she has been a leader on this for so long. By the way, her leadership goes back to the late 80s when we were in the legislature together, when she led the creation of the Growth Management Act, which focused on making sure we have housing in urban communities. And I just think her leadership has been stellar on a national level. Can you just give a round of applause for decades of leadership? There are a lot of reasons to love this project. Supplying more housing, number one. But Compass understands that this is a stair step to success for people with behavioral health challenges. And every part of that step has to be there. And the first step is some stability in their lives so that they can go on and deal with the challenges they have, meaning housing. And to have behavioral health specialists understanding the first step, which is housing, and to be so creative to marshal these resources from many places in the community is truly an inspiration. And I'm serious, everybody in the state of Washington can look to Everett today of how this needs to be done. And so I want to say that this is the most exciting place in the state of Washington today for me, because we know that every community has the kind of challenges that we have right here. And I'm pleased that Washington State is ready, willing, and able to continue in that partnership. I'm glad that the state has put in a little over $4 million to this effort, and I am looking forward to this time's exponential growth. As you know, I have proposed over $300 million of homelessness investment this year in the Washington State Legislature, including funds for long-term housing, exactly like what's going on here too. But also, for the first time, the state putting in real money, over $170 million for sheltering to get people out of the rain. Look, it is raining big time. We've got to get people out of the rain. And I can tell you that you have a First Amendment right to talk to your legislators and say, don't come home until you've passed the governor's budget. And I think we're getting good progress. Legislators are really taking this seriously, and I hope in the next several weeks we're going to have real success. So I won't bore you with the numbers, but they're large. They're not in the billion-dollar range by Senator Cantwell, but $300 million is going to do great things. We want to reduce homelessness, unsheltered population, by over half in the next 2 years. And this is a first step to behavioral health. Now, I do want to say that this is not the last step. We've got to have some additional steps in behavioral health, starting with an integration of physical and mental health in the state of Washington. It makes no sense to have siloed system of health. We've got to integrate that system, and I want to thank the leadership at Compass to get that job done. We've got to make sure that we put these facilities in communities where people live rather than have to drive to one large centralized hospital, either Eastern or Washington State. And we are well on the effort to build community-based system. So I want to congratulate everyone involved in this. Talk to your legislators. Let's do big things in the state of Washington this year. Thanks a lot.
There we go. So Governor, this was a surprise. So thank you so much. I'm really deeply honored. Thank you. So we want to share a little more detail about our vision, and then we'll go out and shovel some dirt, which will be fun. But from our early days as a small orphanage, Compass Health is focused on working with communities to meet their most pressing needs, our most pressing needs. Today we serve over 22,000 people at more than 32 locations in our 5-county region, and that includes 12 sites here in Snohomish County. From comprehensive mental health treatment to prevention and intervention, supported housing, children's services, community education, we are dedicated to providing outstanding behavioral health services and increasingly medical care to clients and communities when and where they need us. So now more than ever, Compass Health is committed to delivering extraordinary care and investing in the communities we serve. Our dedication is in improving the lives and meeting complex behavioral health challenges that have led to new, in some cases nationally recognized models of care, and we are implementing them through all our sites in the 5-county region. And we hope that that has really established us as Northwest Washington's behavioral health care leader. And after 120 years in investing in our communities, we're poised for the next chapter. Very poised, and we're very proud to be part of an organization with the experience, the scale, the vision to lead our regional transition into integrated systems of care. What does that really mean? It means meeting our community members where they need us, treating them as a whole person, not as an illness, taking in everything they need and wrapping services around them. So we're focused on bringing together mental health treatment, substance use disorder treatment, services for those that are homeless, and medical care in order to treat every community member in the way they need to be treated. So as my colleagues at Compass will tell you, we are used to responding to challenges in the community that at times seem intractable. Not only do I believe that we'll successfully pioneer the vision of whole person health, but I know that our talented staff and volunteers, our committed board, we have several board members here today, and they are amazing individuals who are so committed to the mission and vision of our organization. And so along with them and our financial supporters and our unmatched provider and community partners, many of whom are here, and I'm looking out and seeing all your faces now, we are not in this alone, we are in this together with you. And we so appreciate working in a community where we have true sense of collegiality and partnership in meeting our community's needs, and that is such a gift to us at Compass. But as I mentioned, In order to really move forward into this next chapter, we are looking at this really in two ways. One, what is the community's growing need? And two, how can we use the gift of this property to help transform and begin to make the changes that need to be made? So of course we know transforming healthcare is not easy. It is not. The numbers are staggering. Today about 1 in 4 American adults suffer from a diagnosable behavioral disorder. These can range from depression, individuals who experience crises and moments of emotional distress, our students who feel a sense of alienation and loneliness, and increasingly community members that are struggling with challenges related to addiction that in total end up interfering in such a fundamental way with their ability to succeed at school, at work, and in the relationships in their lives. So while the number of people impacted by mental health conditions is rising, resources for care continue to be a challenge to marshal, and that's why we're so thankful to have the support for not only here locally, and many of our local funding partners are here as well today, but again, also the support of the county and the state and the federal representatives that are looking out for the needs of our community members. As you know, and as our respected leaders talk about today, our community increasingly is feeling the impact of mental health and substance abuse issues, combined with homelessness, and that often accompanies individuals who are facing these challenges. It's something we see on our streets every day, and it touches our families, our schools, and our workplaces. In my 30-plus years here at Compass Health, I've seen this organization successfully navigate through challenging times and help create futures for individuals who are facing a hopeless sense of hopelessness in their lives. And we do it time and time again, and turn that hopelessness into recovery and a sense of purpose in their lives. So I'm pleased to share that to in part achieve this new vision, that we plan to invest over $120 million in a 3-phase effort to redevelop this campus right here in Everett. We want to create a world-class center for behavioral health, medical care, and social services in our region. The Broadway campus redevelopment project, which will encompass this entire 300 block of Broadway, is the largest and most comprehensive, by far, capital project in our organization's history. And this state-of-the-art regional center will bring together a full continuum of behavioral health care, primary health care, and permanent supported housing, building on a legacy of innovation that has already occurred at this site. Here at our site, we opened the first triage crisis center in the state that took direct drop-offs from law enforcement and EMTs, emergency medical technicians, in order to provide relief to our officers on the street, avoid unnecessary time in emergency departments, and to have actually a better experience for the individual that is experiencing the crisis. And while the campus has served us well over the years, the main building is more than 70 years old, and it's really no longer able to meet the growing needs of the community. So the Broadway campus redevelopment will allow us to dramatically expand services and utilize this city block to its fullest potential. And so that's why we're all here today. We're celebrating the formal groundbreaking of Phase 1. This $26 million facility will provide 82 units of permanent supported housing to serve chronically homeless community members who are facing behavioral health challenges, both mental health challenges and challenges related to addiction. They will also bring along with them complex medical needs, and we're excited to innovate in this area to really round out and make sure we're meeting those needs as well. These units will be located on the top 4 floors of the facility and will effectively double the number of permanent supported housing units that Compass Health operates here in Snohomish County. Community members whose income levels place them at or below 50% of the median income will qualify to be a resident here at our facility. Individuals transitioning out of Western State Hospital who need a place to connect in the community in order to make a successful transition will have a 3-bedroom unit specifically available to help transition our community members out of Western State Hospital back into the community, allow us the time to work with them to find a permanent place for them to live and to thrive. In addition, we are really excited. Dwayne, I caught him yawning there. Dwayne Leonard from the Housing Authority of Snohomish County. Just to point out here. So one more recent facet of the program that I couldn't be more pleased about is working with Dwayne. We'll have 8 VASH vouchers that were mentioned earlier and have 8 units available to homeless veterans, and we're just really excited that that's going to be part of the project. So in addition to the housing, we'll have 5,200 square foot of community space located on the ground floor, where we'll be able to provide a variety of services. But here's what we really want to do. We want to create community within this project. We want the residents that come here to feel connected to us, to connected to the community, connected to their fellow residents, and really gain that sense of community that's missing in their lives. It's a critical part of what we'll do. So we'll have plenty of adequate space in order to make that happen as well. So this project represents really a win-win for those we serve across the region, as well as our neighbors who live, work, and the businesses that operate here in our neighborhood in Everett. We want to be a good partner to our local businesses, and we think the design and the vision that we have for creating community in this project is going to really make us better partners with the business and residents in our neighborhood. We also are excited that that others around the state of Washington and around the country began to innovate on the best models to provide care. And many of you know about the Housing First model, and we'll be using that model here. And it's just transferring. It's sort of like a little bit when you've been around a long time. You're like, why didn't we think of this a little earlier? But to really come to meet people where you're at, come on in. We're going to give you a place to live. We're going to make sure you have adequate amounts of nutritional food, and we're going to care for you, and we're going to engage you, and we're going to help you through your recovery process. And so we're really excited to be able to really bring that forward for those that we serve. The Broadway Campus Redevelopment Project is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to transform care and meet growing needs of our region. The fulfillment of this bold vision will require extraordinary commitment and generosity from our biggest supporters and champions. So to achieve this transformative vision, Compass Health is undertaking a major fundraising initiative, and you'll hear more about that in the coming months, but what I will say is this organization has never held a major capital campaign. We are launching that campaign. Many of you we've talked to about how one does this thing, and we are so excited to be reaching out and getting such a great response already from community members and community foundations who want to really contribute and invest in making this project become a reality. And we'll bring that community commitment forward as we talk to the state and the federal sources, and they're going to know that this community is really invested in these kinds of services, and we can't thank you enough for that. So as we kick off the campaign, I'm proud to share a brief summary of the terrific public, private, and philanthropic partners who provided financial support for phase 1 of the project, and so far they include, and we'll just go through this one by one, the Washington State Housing Trust Fund, thank you, Snohomish County Housing and Community Services, the Washington State Housing Finance Commission, the National Equity Fund, Federal Home Loan Bank of Des Moines, Coastal Community Bank, I know you guys are here, Impact Capital, the Washington Community Reinvestment Association, Key Bank, the Housing Authority of Snohomish County, and Primera Social Impact. So thank you all. I want to thank our partners. This really would not be happening without these folks. So our development partner is Lotus Development Partners. Michelle and Kaiser are here. This would not be happening without you guys. So thank you. Environmental Works, the design firm, Bill Singer and his team are here, and you've seen the results, all the pictures that you see around. That's really, it's just amazing to be able to bring those visuals forward. And believe me, we went through design, I don't know how many times. So thanks for hanging in there with us and coming up with a beautiful design. All builders, being builders, let's build a building. As we put shovels in the ground today, I'm reminded that this is just the start of our three-phase project. So in phase 2, briefly, Compass will be constructing about an 80,000 square foot facility that is designed to provide the services we provide. It'll include all the services we currently provide on site, which meaning inpatient residential treatment, emergency triage care, long-term residential treatments, a whole array of outpatient mental health and substance use disorder treatment, as well as, again, we begin to weave in access to medical care. This new facility will house the majority of the programs currently offered at the entire building, which provides services every day to about 1,000 community members, and we have 135 talented, dedicated staff here at the site providing service every day. And then to close out the project, the capstone phase 3 will be constructing on the south part of the Broadway block, probably what will be about a 100,000 square foot facility to be an embodiment and physical manifestation of our commitment to integrated care. So what we're visioning for that phase 3 is to have a hub of physical primary health care available on site and extending it out to other sites at community health in order to more appropriately provide medical care to those that we serve. So the final building will house definitely a primary care clinic. We have, I know Amaris here from our pharmacy partner, General Healthcare. We envision probably the pharmacy will be located there. And we also intend and vision to move all of administration off of our 29-acre federal campus up on Federal Avenue, bring it down here to the site, and then start a community conversation about what do kids and youth need in this community and how can this 29-acre beautiful property be brought forward on behalf of the kids and youth that we serve here in Everett. I call that phase 4. Okay, so needless to say, we have some important work to do in the months and years ahead of us. I'm confident that the project will coordinate the efforts of many strategic partners to ensure that each phase is completed on time, at budget, and in line with our guiding principles and visions for the project. We're squarely fixed on this goal of developing a state-of-the-art facility that will expand our ability to deliver innovative, evidence-based care and treatment to each individual that comes to us and really, again, meet them as a whole person. I'm proud that Compass Health is uniquely positioned to respond to these challenges and that our organization is in a position to make these things a reality. We are ready and excited to seize this extraordinary opportunity and to take a greater leadership role to move forward and meet the needs of our community members who are facing homelessness and behavioral health challenges. So again, let me thank Mayor Franklin, Congressman Larson, Governor Inslee, Senator Campbell. Thank you so much for being here today. For those of you that are going to pick up shovels and hard hats, I think you all know who you are. If you guys can come up forward here, and anyone who wants to join us, we're just going to walk down the block, do the shoveling of the dirt. You're welcome to stay or come back and enjoy the refreshments. Let me once again, from my heart, thank you so much for being here and supporting our project. Thank you.
Congratulations!